share some of my abstract watercolor paintings. I've chosen the ones that have the most merit, by my own standards, I guess. I have lots of canvases that are incomplete ideas and sketches, but I just whittled everything down into a small stack of paintings that I'm proud of, or at least paintings that make some kind of statement that appeals to me. So first, this is the largest canvas. It's not very big. This is from a series I did based on like comets and meteors falling to the earth. So it's just a black and white in the background, and this streak falling. And it won't really fit on the frame, but it's the only one that won't fit totally. And it's just falling through the stratosphere down to the earth. And bits of it are coming off of the tail of the comet. I really like outer space themes in paintings. And I did a bunch of these, but it's probably the only one I'm going to feature. Can't remember exactly what's in the stack. Okay, here we have a light green canvas with some starry patterns near the top, and the main image is this kind of column. And I suppose it's going to be difficult to talk. Oh, there's a little cat hair on it. It might be a bit difficult to talk about some of these because they are just improvisational, like sketches. And after sitting and painting so many, some turn out to be successes in my own mind. And I do have a few sketches here I'm going to share too, just some ideas. And I have notebooks full of this kind of stuff. Just fun ideas and sketches. Okay, now we have my hookah. I had a blue hookah that I always sat on a blue glass stand, and I had some blue glass candle holders, and I kept everything neatly tucked into a tote. Took it to festivals and stuff, and so I did a lot of paintings of that hookah when I was searching for subject matter. Here's another one that's a little more realistic, but I much prefer the messier, more abstract ones. And I'll cover the title of this one and you can guess what it is. That's right. Earrings. I don't have it here with me, but I've only ever framed one piece of art that I've made, and it's a 3-part version of a skull in various degrees of dissolution, I guess. It's called Skull Exploded or something like that. And it starts out as a basic skull, and then you kind of through the other 2 pieces of art in the triptych, you can see it breaking down. So I did try to do some real art at one point. This is based on a photograph I took. This is a river in the background. And this was my dad's old tent, the first camping tent that I used a lot. And I camped with some of my best friends at this campsite a lot. And I really miss those days. And here's a poor effort from a camping festival when I just had a small watercolor palette. And I was painting my friends' tents, the people who were camped with me. So I enjoyed that kind of thing, but I much prefer abstracts. And from that same camping festival, I want to feature this just because I'm proud of the way this oil lamp looks. stuff, and I like how the black paint bleeds into the chrome or the brass of it. And then just some other studies on like fuel canisters and a tent. This is just one of the packs of watercolor paints that you can buy. Okay, here's an abstract with just an idea. Just some slashes of color through a cool background. Often these will look really good when they're wet, and then there's a number of them that I ditched, and I'm not featuring in this video because as soon as they dried, like, all the magic faded away into the ether, I guess. Alright, so here we have another, this is kind of a landscape. So the idea of, you know, evocative of trees and the sun. Just an idea. And this is an example of something that I've done dozens of paintings that are similar to this, but they're in various degrees of being unfinished. And I'm not sure how finished you think that one looks, but I made the cut. This is kind of a comet scene. This isn't really one of the comet ones, but it's just some patterns. It's really strange to share artwork that I only have looked at once or twice since painting it many, many years ago. Alright, this one is, I guess this one kind of counts as a comet too, falling to the earth. Hopefully everything's in focus. Probably missed a few focus opportunities. And over the years I've tried my hand at sketching different places where I've lived and people's houses and things. So this is just an example of a rough sketch, and I don't really get a lot of satisfaction out of sketching my environment. Maybe the first sketch or two that I make while I'm seated somewhere, but then I quickly get bored and I quickly think of it as a chore. Otherwise, I mean, on the other hand, with painting, I like it. I get more. There's more joy in it for me. So some swoopy lines and things. And once again, I've chosen canvases that look sort of complete. There's a lot of little swatches and sketches and bits and pieces here and there that well, the next one will be an example. Here's some digital art from college. And if you look closely, you can see that I had to go through and do all these color layers. When we were just learning about, I don't know what we were using, Illustrator or something. Who knows what we were using on those Macs back in the day. Alright, there's an incomplete canvas, just with a swooshy idea, a little slash of design, a swoop. I'm not sure. I chose these like weeks ago. Not sure why I added some of these. And here's a ghoul coming through a chamber with crazy eyeballs. Monsters. Kind of beast. Okay, this next one I am kind of proud of. I really like its zen-like sensibility, I guess. I think this is a really, that's the kitty scratching. She's scratching on the door. But I really like this one. It looks almost like a bird or something, something just moving. Alright, this is the direction I was going in with a lot of my paintings. swatches of, well, freeform color in the background, and then going through and kind of doctoring it up, so to speak. So that's a nice one I'm proud of. This type of idea. And here's another painting from reality. I was trying to get into using the white of the watercolor paper to act as the white paint, which is a time-tested method for watercolorists. I thought, what better to use than sushi? Although it does look a little unfinished there at the bottom, but I still proud of that piece. Okay. Some of these I'm not sure why I chose them to feature in this showing, but this is just a weird, I like dark backgrounds that are just slashed with color, and canvases that you don't really know which way to turn them. But, each canvas speaks its own language, I guess, and makes itself known which way it wants to be twisted. This looks, it's just like another space scene. Something about horizons and circles and whatnot. Okay, this one is a moderately successful idea, I think. With some obvious places where your attention might land, but I'm a little bit unhappy with this one. But I do like the palette. I especially like sky blue and like seafoam greens and peaches and soft violets and stuff like that. Just it's another example of a quick sketch from a notebook, but just design ideas, things to mess around with. And back to another black and white sketch. This one I really like. And like I said, I have notebooks full of this stuff with varying degrees of success, and sometimes I hit on something that I like. This is one of those. And the next one I am proud of. Once again, it's a little messy and imperfect, but the mood is there, and you can kind of tell what I'm going for. And I like the peach and the gray with the green. And I'd like to revisit something, some art series in this vein in the future. I really like. I don't know, wherever my head was at whenever I was doing that one. It's funny to look back on things, and it's almost like another person made them. Okay, this is looks like a figure lounging and thinking this up. Or this looks also like a profile. And since X-Files is coming out again, I thought I would feature this one, which is the cigarette smoking man style with an alien face. And added a little text on there, which normally would not do. Okay, this one I call koi fish, so an abstract. School of Koi on an overworked background. But I do admit I named the piece long after I made it. And kind of like the art I featured in my last art video, this is just pen and ink, freeform abstract, but I always thought it looked like a heart. And I'm messing with some ideas where piece as a whole makes more of a statement than really trying to pick it apart. And the final piece in the showing, and it looks like we made it through.